Somebody set a fire under Pau Gasol.
Kicks it to Freak. From deep. Bullseye.
He is on fire from behind the arc. Yeah, it seems like all of his points are coming from deep, Greg.
To be blunt, the MyCAREER/MyPlayer mode is the only real reason myself and many other 2K sports fans buy the annual editions of these games. They let you live through an RPG-styled basketball career or other sports, through ups, downs, trades, and free agency. Now, they have a bad reputation for being just roster updates, but let me be very clear here. The game's improvements go much deeper. Slicker animation quality, crowd reactions, and of course, off-court playability. The additions are noticeable and welcomed by many players. But one thing turned me off. Something very fierce with this year's entry that I did not like. I will go over that in the next few minutes, but until then, let me give you my perspective on NBA 2K16's Career Mode. Now, my grading system will be implemented for those who want to put a number to it. With this being a sports game, I will be grading it out of 8 categories: presentation, gameplay, sound and commentary, controls, realism, difficulty, interaction versus RPG elements, and of course, story. Yes, story. Presentation. The game stuns. Its smooth animation quality and textures make the games both a joy to play and to watch. It's almost like watching a real basketball game, except you're the one making the highlight plays and shooting the threes. The thing that gets better and better each year is the game's awesome presentation. It's absolutely wonderful. Presentation gets a 10 out of 10. Gameplay. This section will be short and sweet. It's the same old 2K. You aren't going to innovate much with basketball. That's the trouble with sports games, they tend to be pretty similar year to year as the game itself rarely changes the mechanics. But, for being your regular everyday basketball, they still do it well. Gameplay gets a 7 out of 10. The sound and commentary. The game's soundtrack is fun and hype-worthy. While it's not my style of music at all, it fits the setting and the game quite well. Sound effects, as always, are on par with real life and make it feel so good to be playing and hear the squeaking of your shoes on the court. But I think this year, the commentary from the whole crew, including Kenny the Jet, Ernie Shack, Kevin Harlan, and the rest of the crew, during pre-game, post-game, and during the game, are just phenomenal. Wonderful sporting atmosphere. Sound and commentary get a 9 out of 10. Controls. Now, the controls fail to impress me, as many of the things I've gotten used to over the past 2 games were once again changed. It's near impossible to drive to the basket for new players. Passing is made a lot easier but has 3 different buttons, leading to many mix-ups and unnecessary turnovers. They are acceptable and I've gotten used to them over the time I've played, but I still find myself shooting with X and using the stick for dribble moves. Controls get a 6 out of 10. The game's realism. The game comes so close to being hyper-realistic, but as such, nothing will ever be perfect in that regard. Lights, sound, chatter, commentary, fan interaction, etc. This culminated in one of the best basketball games I have played in years as far as player involvement has gone. It is great. The realism for the game gets an 8 out of 10. Difficulty. The game is considerably more difficult than its predecessors due to the funky controls and weak-ass rookie season, which we will get into later. I find the offense to be so clunky, and the defense too rigid. I cannot chase down the break without feel like I'm running through molasses. By that time, they've dunked on us, and this has been an issue for about 3 games now. If they could give us the mid-range defense from 2K12, I'd be happy. Difficulty gets a 7 out of 10. The game's interaction and RPG elements. This part of the game is and always will be superb. Leveling up your character is a blast and can be easily done due to the combined stat totals from last year's game. Putting all stats into stat groups was a great idea. I only wish you weren't limited on your upgrades. That needs to go. Off-court and on-court interaction is great with fans, endorsements, and other players. Is there room for improvement? Yes, but there always should be, especially in a yearly franchise. The interaction and RPG elements of 2K16 gets a solid 10 out of 10. Alright, here we go. NBA 2K16's story. I don't know how to even begin with this. This will probably be the longest segment of the video. Easily the biggest WTF in the game, and the worst part about it. Spike Lee, I love you, man, but what the hell were you thinking with the Livin' the Dream story introduction? I use the word introduction lightly as it takes almost 6 to 10 hours to complete all of it. The damn thing gives you no choices, no improvement, no scheduling. It's an on-rail sports drama that isn't optional. You have to play through the whole thing to get to the real career mode. What I'm about to say isn't meant as a racist comment, so before you get all ragey and comment at me, just shush. No matter the character you create, you get a black family, a black sister. This isn't racism. This is just Spike Lee's story that wasn't well thought out. And I tried to sidestep around it with the whole adoption clause I created, but then they started talking about me and my black sister in the womb being twins and all. It was too much. I would not mind it much if you had more choices, like choose the family, choose where you were raised, all that stuff, but it was just a drama. It was a stark and frankly just bogus drama. And don't get me started on the excessive and frankly boring cutscenes. The final monologue is literally a guy sitting on a bench talking for 15 minutes. No flashbacks, no cutaways, nothing. Just a mocap character you barely even like or know talking for 15 minutes. I'm sorry, Spike, but this is a shit show and should have been an optional thing or DLC. Sorry for stuttering. I'm not scripting this last part because I need to get my full rage out on it. The story mode was a great idea. I won't lie. It was a great idea, but there should have been a lot more player choice if you're going to build it around an RPG-styled mode. So sadly, the story mode is the downfall of this game, and it leaves you with an 8-game rookie season. I think that the following through your career as a high schooler and a college student was a great idea, but it could have done better. Frankly, yeah, it's bogus, and your 8-game rookie season should not have been a thing. You should have been able to play through your rookie season like the rest of the games, earn Rookie of the Year, play your ass off, then get drafted. Not to mention you become a free agent at the end of your first season for no reason whatsoever, just for story. Anyway, I'm not going to ramble on about this bullshit. The story mode for our NBA 2K16 gets a 4 out of 10. So, overall, what is my view on NBA 2K16? Well, personally, it's not the best 2K game we've gotten. I still firmly believe that NBA 2K12 is the best in the franchise, and that's because it weighed your RPG style things with the sports stuff very greatly. It was repetitive, yes, but it was also very fun, and you didn't feel too grindy like you do nowadays, because now you can just buy level ups for your character, and it's pretty bullshit that you can do that. I think the game has a great soundtrack for basketball players. I think it has a great animation quality and look to it. The commentary is phenomenal. You guys buy this just for Shaq and Kenny the Jets back and forth. It's great. It has a few of the little bugs that you expect in a game, like, animations are kind of wonky sometimes. The camera shaking during free throws at away games is kind of annoying. I know it's understandable and it should be there, but it's annoying and it can cause your eyes some problems, as I've been partaking in those eye problems. And it's a great game. The MyCAREER mode is really good. It's just, you shouldn't have had to force your way through a 6-hour campaign that you had no choice in, and most of it was watching people bicker at each other about bullshit you didn't even care about, because you weren't even going to be playing for the team you got drafted for, because you became a free agent right at the end of the year. I got drafted by the Pistons, and I ended up getting signed on by OKC, and now I'm playing as OKC, and I'm in running for All-Star. So I'm enjoying the game. The MyCAREER mode after the story mode, after the live into dream, the career mode after that is phenomenal. Oh my god, is it great. But you shouldn't have to go through 6 hours to get to it. You should have an option to skip it, or Spike should have put it as a DLC package. And then just give you a character. Don't let you create a character for it. Let it be this, all-star high school black player from, Harlem, New York, and have him rise to fame and impress his family. Like, that would have been great. It would have been a great up-and-coming story. But don't let you create whatever character you want. I could have created like a 4-foot Asian guy, and he'd have a 7-foot tall black dad. And I understand that's completely fine in today's age, and don't make this come off as like an evil thing I'm saying, but when they're talking about you and your sister arguing in the womb, it's a little hard to look past, and I'm just saying as an aesthetic choice. And so no, the game was great. The player models look phenomenal. Like, I was playing against LeBron, and he looks exactly like fucking LeBron. I play with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. They look exactly like him. It's a great game. I highly recommend it, but the story mode drags it down into the depths. And instead of getting a 8.5 out of 10 overall grade from me, because of that bad story, it drags it down a full point to an average score by me of 7.5 out of 10. It's a good game with some very, very blatant and highlighted flaws. Thank you guys so much, etc. Thank you guys for watching this PentaPERSPECTIVE. I hope it helps you in your decision to buy or not buy this game. If not, leave a comment down below and tell me what I did wrong. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you can, and if you want to, of course. And of course, I'll see you in the next video. Catch you later.